In this video, we'll go through the step-by-step process of turning a metal can into a plant pot, preparing it to resist rust. It'll be the perfect substrate for your next creative project in mosaic, painting, or decoration. A metal container cannot be used directly as a planter because it releases ferrous sulfate, which seeps into the roots, slowly poisoning them, stunting growth, drying leaves, and attracting pests and worms. The metal will constantly be in contact with the soil's moisture and will inevitably rust. Let's get started on the project. Materials. I have included the full list of materials in the description. Step 1. Anti-rust. The first thing we'll do is to protect the inner surface of our can from rust, as it will be in constant contact with moisture. For this, we'll use this anti-rust, which is the least toxic option I found, water-based with low VOC. According to the manufacturer's instructions, we should apply 2 coats, waiting 1 hour between each coat. It's important to read your product's specific instructions and always try to choose the least toxic option, to care for the environment, of course, but also because if you are placing a plant inside, which will isolate from this area anyway, it's always better to have something more natural. I'm going to protect this part and also this one, since that area will be left without mosaic. If you don't want to mosaic the can and you'll place it indoors, you can paint it with a paint suitable for metal. If you plan to place it outdoors, apply this same anti-rust treatment. 2 coats on the outside, and after 1 day you can paint over the anti-rust. I've already applied the first coat. I'll let it dry for an hour before applying the second. Step 2. Drill holes. It's been a day since I applied the second coat, and the anti-rust treatment is now ready. To allow airflow and drainage, we're going to make a few holes in the base. I find it easiest to use a hammer and a nail, but if your can is thinner, you could also use a screwdriver. Just rotate it while applying pressure. Make several evenly spaced holes for good drainage and airflow. Interior isolation. This step is the key to the project. Geotextile fabric is typically used in gardens and farms to prevent weed growth, as it blocks light but allows water and air to pass through. Exactly what we need for this project. It's affordable and easy to find, though it's usually sold in large rolls, often around 10 meters. For this project, we'll only use a small piece, just enough to cover the inside of our planter. I recommend visiting a local nursery and asking if they can give or sell you a small piece, or you might also find it sold by the meter at home improvement stores. We are aiming to isolate the metal from the moist soil to prevent rusting and protect our plant. Cut a circle to fit the base and a strip slightly taller than the container and a bit longer so it overlaps on the inside. This fabric allows drainage, which is exactly what we're looking for. That's why we have holes at the bottom. When we place the fabric, it will let water flow down while keeping the soil from direct contact with the metal. Let's test it. Perfect fit. I'll make a few cuts along one edge so it can fold and overlap with the circle I've already cut for the base. Now we are going to glue this to the bottom of the planter using odorless silicone, which is a waterproof adhesive. It might be a bit challenging for me to glue it this way, so I'll place some silicone here. Remember to work in a well-ventilated area. Even though it's odorless silicone, it can still cause headaches. I'll position it at the bottom, making sure not to cover the holes I've already made. Now we are going to insert this in a cylindrical shape with a lot of patience to make sure it fits as snugly as possible. This won't be perfect, but that's not what we need. We just have to ensure it's covered inside. It looks pretty good, and now I'm going to add more silicone over the fabric at the bottom. We'll make sure this base is well positioned and let it dry for at least 24 hours or for the curing time indicated on your silicone. Now you have a planter ready to decorate however you like. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel so I can keep creating free content for you.